So, Matt, you're going to lie on the ground. Yeah, on your back, sorry. On your back, arms are out straight, legs are out straight.
All right. We'll start with the hip flexion.
Start wherever you want. Yep, that's where it goes. Yeah. All right, so real quick, when she's taking you through stuff, okay, what you're going to really note is, like, A, if something hurts. So if she pulls that hip into flexion, you're like, ooh, I feel like some pinching on the front, or like, my back doesn't like it, you're going to note that. If you just feel some, like, stretching, you're like, oh, yeah, I feel some pulling in, like, my hamstring or my hip, it's fine, awesome. But if you're in that, like, gray zone where it's like Beth, doesn't hurt, but it doesn't feel right, or if, like, you push any harder, I'm probably not going to like it, that's, like, we're going to err on the side that's probably pain.
Okay.
All right? All right.
So start with the right leg.
Yep.
Is it the bent knee here?
Yep.
Go to your chest.
So, yeah, so good. Do what you think is, yep.
I'm just watching. That's pretty good.
So, yeah, you know.
Go on.
No. So, because this is how we're going to start to think. What did you guys think of when she pushed the knee all the way there? Did you guys see anything? So we saw some hip movement, like over on this side of the pelvis, and like the low back actually get pushed into the ground. Right? So, which is normal, right? But we want to stop it before we start getting the spinal compensations. Right? So take it a little slower, and just start to feel where maybe you start to feel other things, maybe, or you see other things move. Like right there. That's about it. Right? So go bring it back.
Yep.
All right. So go ahead, go again. Matt, you care if I put my hand right here?
Nope.
Right about there, you can start to see this whole thing start to tilt back. All right? So that's where we're like, we're starting to get more movement back here than anything else. Remember, yeah. So I can get my hand, like, is that normally how you lie in bed? Like, so like I can get my hand all the way underneath there, right? So right off the bat, we know that pelvis is rolling forward a little bit. So as soon as she brings that knee back, it's going to give her some give right through because she's got more space to roll into. Do me one more favor. Do it again. Make sure her knee isn't tracking out at all.
Okay.
Right? So you're going to go slow. Think about keeping your knee almost in line with her right eye.
Okay. It's already.
So go back, bring it back. So come back, go even slower. Right there. All right. So we're at about just past 90 of hip flexion. Any discomfort? Mm-mm. Cool. Felt different? Like in her leg at all?
No. I felt with people who do have that.
Yeah, like that hard stop kind of?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So put, let's just call it like 95. 95 or 100, whatever you feel comfortable.
And 120 is what we're reaching for?
We're yeah, like so full hip flexion would be 120.
Okay.
Right.
It's a negative then. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit of loss. All right, so now turn it into the ER one.
Okay. So.
All right, so that would be IR. That's okay.
And right here, she's resisting this stuff.
Yep. Good.
Yeah, like right there.
Awesome. Maddie, what do you feel when we go into that? Anything? Cool.
All right, ready? Let's see. Pretty
Yeah.
good.
That's a lot. All right. Should she have, again, what we're thinking, well, we get there. So if she's got a ton of IR on that right hip and she's missing the ER, we'll see what we get with her ISA bias. But if she's a narrow, should she have that much internal rotation? Nope. Right? So then we know we're probably doing some kind of compensation, which we already know we've probably got something that we need to be mindful of to begin with. This is almost like, so far, yeah, like yesterday. Yeah. So this might be easy. All right, so ER, you're going to put, maybe what, 30 degrees? And then IR was pretty good. That was almost like 30 degrees there, 30, 40. I don't know, it looked pretty smooth.
What's 30 there?
So that's going to be on...
Where's the IR?
Right there. That's it.
Oh, okay, yep. There it is.
Yep. All right, so hop on the left side and let's see what we got there.
You want me to do the straight leg?
We'll do them both at the same time after we get that stuff.
Okay. Lift this leg up, bend it there. Right there.
Yep, so this probably feels a little bit easier than the other side, correct?
Yep.
As we guys go ahead watching, let's all see. Right about there. Maybe a little bit more? Yeah, by like maybe 5 or 10 degrees at most. All right. Feels okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. We'll do. You can see the whole hip.
Yeah, and I like how you adjusted the leg a little bit and like redid it. How does that one look compared to the other side?
There's a little bit more flexibility here.
So a little bit more?
Yeah.
All right, and let's try IR. Whew.
That one,
Jeannie was like, oh my God.
Is this what?
That's a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a lot for the most part. We don't really see too much like it. So again, ER is a little bit better. So if it's a little bit higher than the other one, I'd probably put it like 5 or 10 degrees more. And then IR looked really good.
So what was that like?
I'd say it's like probably 40, 45 almost. No pain in any of those. Woohoo! All right. So feet together. Toes curled back to your shins. Hands are down by your side. Head is down. Keeping both legs as straight as possible. Lift your right one up slowly. All right, good. Bring it back down. What'd you feel when you did that? No tension, no like muscle?
A little tension like right up in here.
Yeah. Let's try the left leg. Good. All right. So, how'd that left one feel compared to the right?
That one felt a little bit better than the right one, for sure. It looked tighter. Yeah.
Maddie, can you do it again for us, please?
Yeah.
So feet together, legs stay straight, keep them as locked as possible. Go for it. Yeah, good. Good. All right, so what do you guys see?
Left one a little farther.
Did it?
Left one less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, first time definitely went left. Let's ask one question. Is she, where is she in the spectrum? Is she like close to 90, halfway, a lot less? Like, what are we at?
I would only say
45, yeah, she's about like a 45, right? So, and if we looked at it from over here, what you'll see is her leg comes up and it starts to actually cross a little bit into her midline, right? Which is also kind of a deviation of like where we're trying to see stuff go. All right, so you're not feeling a ton of pull in the back of the leg or anything like that? All right, weirdo. No, so, but that's, but like, wouldn't we expect to have some kind of tension in there if somebody that's got like a 45-degree active straight leg raise? So interesting kind of like stuff. Right off the bat, we got some really different presentations than what we might expect. All right, let's do the shoulders.
You don't want to do the adduct.
What do you mean?
Wasn't there another hip one where
We could do, if we wanted to, we could, yeah, if we wanted to, we could do an adduction or abduction test, but let's go to the shoulders. And if we need to, we can use those to help confirm kind of what we're thinking about.
we do the straight, double straight arm first one? Or is that
So you can go this way, and you can go ER and IR, and then you can bring the elbow across, and then we'll do the overhead flexion one.
Yeah. All right. So here, and then you're going to like try to drop down. That's fine. Good. And then go this way. Or just. Yeah, she's gonna go.
So,
Am I not doing this right?
yeah, I don't know. Let me see. Because this is similar to what happened with us yesterday with Gian too. So, man, let your arm relax as best you can.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah. So, like, if I push her down, she can get there, but it springs back up. So, we have a loss of ER on that side, and that's loosey-goosey, right? That's, like, really loose, which would match her hip measures. So, if she's a wide ISA, this stuff might make more sense. All right? If she's not, then we're like, huh. Okay? Go check the other stuff. So Beth, just make sure her shoulder, isn't riding up.
Right here.
Yep.
Yes. So you just like basically right up a little bit.
Yeah, so let's go. Let's just try more. So we're going to keep the shoulder out of the ear. And then we're here. And we're going to bring her across. Yep, so she's good. All right, let's try the other side. So it doesn't go, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's a little bit.
Would you say it's a little more sticky than the other side?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then try to bring it across.
This one looks up, I feel like, right away.
So you're trying to, there you go. Yep. What do you think?
That one seems a little tighter than the. You don't think so?
I think she's okay. Yeah, I mean, it feels actually, again, it feels a little bit looser in some regards, but you're probably right. There's probably something else going on. But she gets her elbow across her nose,
Yeah.
so we call that. Okay. So she's missing, so we say she's probably at like 70 degrees of ER on both sides, and she's got almost like probably 70 degrees of IR on that left, and maybe like 50 on the right. And remember, something to keep in mind, should joints have over really 100 degrees of total range of motion? So you can't have 70 ER and 70 IR, right? That's 140 degrees of total range of motion. Like, something's not right here. So we know we're seeing some type of orientation in the rib cage someplace. All right. So Maddie, bend your knees and keep your feet flat on the ground. Hands are going to be by your side. Palms are going to be turned up. All right. You're going to turn your hands open as best you can. Keep them by your side. All right. So you can get them a little closer to you. There you go. Keeping your arm as straight as possible. We're going to start to lift up. All right. Now the other part too is, I'm just going to move this for a second. We want to try to keep this on the ground as best we can. Okay. All right. Already, yeah. So already she's gotten, like, you feel that, like, so just by bringing her feet in, already we've closed this space off, like, pretty well. Okay. So we're going to keep it, like, tight. Yep. Palm turned open, arm is straight, and slowly start to lift up as high as you can. Yep. No, both at the same time. Yep. So keep going back.
Keep going back? All right.
Yeah. So pause right there. So bring it back up to about here. Right. Let's keep our hands turned. Keep the arm straight. Keep that in there, and then slowly start to go a little further back. Good. What do you feel in this position right here?
I don't know, my shoulders are stretching back.
Yeah, yeah. You feeling any pressure, like back here or anything like that, or in the back of the arm?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Go a little further. Right about there. Okay. Anything different there?
No, it's just a little bit more intense.
Tense, right? What happens if we were to bring your arms out here and keep turning the hands?
Then I start to feel it, like in the back, I guess in the back of my shoulder.
Yeah. Okay, good. Relax. All right. That was the hardest one yet. So as we started to, so you can see, again, she likes to bring things like into her like midline to find a little bit more like space. Because like even on the active straight leg raise, same thing. It starts to come across her body a little bit. Here, she's coming up and she starts to bring her hands close together. As soon as we bring her out and turn, it's like, whoa, now I'm starting to feel those things kick on a little bit. All right. What would we say that range of motion was? So if like this is 90, she got to probably right about here. 100, 110 maybe. So for over inflection.
Just 110 altogether.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too concerned about it just yet. All right, so you can remember how to check an ISA angle?
Yeah. She's like lays on the ground, or does it matter?
She's okay with that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to put my hands on your, slowly putting your rib cage here. I'm just going to feel for your ribs. Here. Okay, I'm going to take a deep breath in.
Nice, Maddie. Give me a nice full exhale all the way out. Blow, 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 blow. And then one more breath in. Yep. And then blow, 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 blow. Good. All right. What do you think?
I'd say a wide essay.
Did it? So it felt like it was kind of more out here than closer together.
More, like, no, like, isn't wide eye. Like,
Wide would be like when you put your hands on the angle here, it's kind of like more flat, right? Narrow would be as soon as you put your hands there. See how it creates like a tent? Like this angle is a little bit closer. So did it feel like it was that, or did it feel like it was more open?
more open.
so we'd probably maybe go with a wide. All right. Matt, do you care if I check it? There. Go ahead, give me a breath in. Yep, and then blow it out. I think you're right. All right. The other thing, too, is, I know I'm poking you around a bit.
You're good.
All right. You see the difference in, like, rib position?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. So, again, we also have a diagnosis of scoliosis, right? So her right rib is, like, really, seems like it's much lower than her left, right? So, and even when you feel, like, in her angle, like, here's this part isn't down until, like, down here. Right? Those feel like the same landmarks I'm pushing on both ribs, right?
Yeah.
So, what we're also going to take note on is like, all right, I've got a really asymmetrical kind of rib position, which, remember yesterday, we had a pretty big rib flare on the left side, and then we also saw a pretty big rib hump on the right side, which is all normal stuff, right? But those are the things that we're looking for to help confirm, like, hey, is this person twisting one way more than the other? And also, when they inflate, is that left side inflating more? That's how you typically get that rib to kind of protrude out, okay? All right, so, yeah, I would say wide, but it was like she moved pretty well, so I guess it would be wide dynamic. So good, check that stuff off. Matt, you can come on up. Right rib was... Yeah. Maddie, which one did I say was higher or lower? Right was lower. Right was lower, yeah. All right, so let's go feet together. Legs stay straight, go down, touch your toes. Hey! All right.
I seriously have never been able to do that before.
Yeah, we work magic here.
Never
See, this is like,
Yes, so that's what we're looking at, right? So so we got a little bit more space over here, and this is kind of flat, and that's it. Good, come on back up. What did you feel when you did that, May?
pull on back, and I did feel that was a little higher.
Yeah, which is, I mean, again, that's all kind of the stuff that we know, which is good.
Yeah.
All right, so go feet shoulder width apart, hands out in front, keeping your feet flat on the ground, squat down as deep as you can. Good, and come on back up. Awesome, do it one more time for me. Yep, and come on, awesome. What'd you feel with that, anything?
Really?
Cool, it's like no discomfort, nothing?
Mm-mm.
Awesome. What did you guys think of the toe touch and the squat?
well, just that I noticed that you said
Yeah.
she's finding space up here.
Yep.
But now, I feel, just have you stand, which kind of, because now you can see, like now she's kind of, you can see.
Yeah, a little right shoulder
Just
drop.
a little bit, not
Yep.
much, which is then like the space is being found back here instead of.
Correct. Right, so if I've got something like this, and I've got maybe this side is compressed a little bit, and this side is expanding, but I need to move sometimes posterior, this is where I'm going to get it, in that spot. All right, and usually with wide ISAs, you will see more of a kyphosis than a narrow. A narrow, we're going to get almost like a flattening of the spine, whereas a wide, we get a little bit more of a, like, S-curve. Yeah, with lordosis and stuff like that. Okay, so put toe touch, I would put it as a DN, or FN, sorry. Yeah, that looked pretty good. And then squat, I mean, I would put it as a DN. I mean, it's close.
What's the end?
DN means dysfunctional, not in a bad way, right? It just means we're gonna investigate it, right? So, and again, this is
What did you not like? Was it when?
oh, all of it. I hated all of it. No, so
Was it
yeah.
here and then it, like, with your
How much time do you have? No. May, put your heels up on there and try squatting again and see what you think. Yep. Yep. Feel much different?
Yeah.
Yep.
Easier.
Yep. So what we saw is like when she got off, when she's not on the wedge, she kind of has to push things out. She's kind of sticking her butt back further, and she's here. And you can see she gets almost like her back does that to give her a little bit more room to kind of sit down in between her legs. So we gave her the heel wedge. Much more upright, looks better. We know we're missing a few things to kind of get her into that position. All right. So what lifts do you really like to do?
I really like to squat. I don't know if that was an indication of anything, but
So with a bar on your back?
yeah.
Okay.
Or front.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So two things we want to check first. What on the assessment stuck out to you guys the most that might be something we want to investigate?
I guess kind of some stuff we did yesterday, just getting that space adjusted.
So what would?
Here and the hamstrings that she didn't feel them.
So what are we trying to maybe change a little bit? What test would we try to change?
Oh, the squat.
Active straight leg raise.
Oh.
Right? So that's the one you were saying, like, yeah, right? Man, we had that was like a 45-degree active straight leg raise. She can touch her toes, right? So it's like, why can't she can do it standing up, which means she's probably getting some motion someplace other than the hip, but she can't do it when she's lying on the ground, right? So typically with an active straight leg raise, like you were demonstrating, I would have expected like a toe touch to be like, whoop. But you said I haven't been able to touch my toes. So normally, like, why all of a sudden today? It's my presence. It does that to people. So, and then the other thing would be, I would be curious to see what happens to some of her like hip range of motion if all of a sudden we get her to feel some hamstrings and get that pelvis back a little bit in a different position. The other thing too is like when she did, Matt, can you do your toe touch again real quick? So feet together, legs straight, do not touch your toes. So I want you guys to come look from over here so you can kind of see what Beth and I were looking at, right? In that we've got this whole shape over here is pushing out, and then we've got this space and this space is definitely more compressed, right? It's almost like straight flat on this side, whereas here we've got the rib kind of protruding out a little bit.
And you can even see like her hip too.
Yeah, comes back a little bit.
Yeah.
Good, come on up. So remember when we were talking, when she was saying, I just get this like tension through here and here all the time, like, and it's kind of throughout the day. What might we want to try to do in that area? Yeah, we might want to try to see if we can get her to shift backwards a little bit, because what she might be sensing is just constantly, especially getting pushed forward on which side, you think? Right, that left side is like flat, so it's probably doing this, and then her only really space to move backwards is actually right here. So if we can get her to go back on the left side, and maybe everything comes back a little bit, she might feel a little bit more relief. And also, when she does some of her other training, it might not just jam her so far forward. All right? Okay, so what exercise will you use first? Erica.
Push her back.
Yeah.
Do like a banded breathing.
Like which one?
Like a seated one, or like the one against the door.
Ooh, I like where your head's at. Which one do you think we should try? Well, why did I say, do we want to put her on her back? Not necessarily, right? So maybe we try a sideline position, or we can try one of Erica's suggestions. Let's go with one of Erica's suggestions. Come on over here. Because that was my first thought too, Erica. All right, can one of you guys grab me a yoga block, please? All right, so Matt, what are you going to do? We're going to put a yoga block between the knees. You're going to get your feet about a shoe length away from the wall. We're going to take the bands. We're going to reach them straight out in front of you. All right? You're going to bend your knees a little bit. All right? I want you to feel your feet like flat into the floor. And I want you to try to, remember how on the ground there's like a huge space here?
Yeah.
You're going to try to get rid of that.
Okay.
Okay? So you're going to kind of like let your knees bend, let your butt just kind of scoop underneath you a little bit, and reach away from the wall.
Okay.
All right? And then we're going to start with just some breathing there and see how it goes.
Let's see.
Maddie, don't you screw this up.
I'll try not to.
All right, so scooch this way just a little bit.
This way?
Yeah, there you go. Yep, just right in the center. Good. All right, so reach those arms long. Okay. Yep, perfect. Feel your feet kind of flat on the ground, right? We're not pushing too much into the toes. We should feel some heels. All right, so this space right here is what you're trying to get rid of. How would you do that? All right, so give me a breath in, blow it all out, and reach your hands even further forward. Yep, and you're almost like letting the hip like scoop underneath you a little bit to get pressure into the door there. So what I want you to think about, easy breath in through your nose, and then blow all the air out like you're trying to blow Denise over. So, And if you spit on her, that's okay too. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I want you to reach in, like,
Here?
yeah.
Okay.
So almost like you're reaching your knuckles out as far as you can.
Okay.
Yep. Good. There we go. Awesome. Give me 2 more breaths just like that. All right, and keep kind of sensing your feet on the ground. So if we want to maybe push her to the left, what would we do? So we're going to keep our right foot there. What would we do is arm? Yeah. So I want you to reach this arm longer.
Okay.
Yep, so you feel that right side kind of come off the door a little bit.
Yep.
All right, and then I want you just to kind of like shift your weight over to this left foot a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're almost going to like push, this part's almost going to get pushed back into the door a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
So now give me another breath in. Yeah, right, you feel this almost inflate a little bit. Keep reaching that arm out as far as you can.
Yep.
Yep, blow, 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 like literally. Make Denise's hair go.
All right.
You're going to do one more. All right, you guys asked for it. Yeah. One more like that. That's what we're looking
Okay.
for. Awesome. Good. Relax. Feel anything with that?
Yeah, I mean, I felt it definitely shift a little bit
Okay.
more in the back.
That's back. Yeah.
Kinda,
Was it weird?
was a little weird.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But-
All right, so come on over here. Just so we don't screw this up like we did last time and not get anything on camera. Go feet together, legs stay straight. Go down, touch your toes again.
What happened?
We had a Beth, watch out. Good. Yeah. That feel different?
Yeah.
Like a lot different?
Not a lot different, a little bit different though. A little bit easier to
Yep.
do it.
Yep.
this time.
Good. Come on back up. So, what was the change in how she did her toe touch this time? Smoother. The first one was like this. Right. It's almost like she created a bow through her whole like system. This one, she kind of just went, oh yeah, I can just move and kind of like bend and go down pretty easily. All right. Lie on the floor. Let's check your active straight leg raise. So feet together, legs stay straight, toes curled back to your shins. Lift your right leg up slowly as high as you can. Good, and let's try the other side. Good. Any difference in those? Or feel about the same?
No, it felt about the same.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Like the right one a little bit.
A little bit, right? We saw a little bit of difference. Nothing that I'd be like, ah. All right, come on up. Great job, May. Let's try Erica's upper back breathing. So the last time we did this, we got. Actually, Denise, what were you going to say about Kathy's update while we're?
Oh, well, she doesn't need to use anything to get down on the floor, because before she had to use the bench to
Yeah,
get down on the floor,
yeah.
and then remember she had to climb up.
Yep.
Her big thing is she wanted to be able to genuflect in church,
Yeah.
and she did it upstairs. She got right down to the floor, and she can get up by using the support to get up,
Yeah.
and touching her toes very easily all the time.
So we had an older. Yeah, come on over here. So we had an older woman.
She doesn't look like this. She's been working out up here like 4 times a week maybe, and we gave her exercises and she does basically, and then she does, I don't know, had her sit back here, she does it out her staying at home all the time. That's awesome. Yep,
All right.
yeah. I just checked her this morning. She told me she's
So
gonna be able to genuflect in church.
the bad part was we did this stuff and then we got her to do it over here.
Yeah.
And she like jumped up and down. Was like, oh my god, 'cause she touched her toes and like none was on camera. So you just hear us like, you just hear us in the background. Oh my god! It's just like a stupid video shot of the turf.
That's really cool. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
So Maddie, what you're gonna do?
Okay.
Yoga block between knees.
Yep.
I want you to scooch right up to the platform here.
Okay.
We're gonna go mini band around the wrists.
Okay.
Palms are facing you. I got my elbows pretty close to me. All right. What I want you thinking about is you're almost just gonna let yourself like slouch back a little bit. Not like, huh, but just enough that you start to feel some weight, kind of like back here in your hips. All right. We've got just a little bit of tension on the mini band. Right. So you're not like crushing too hard. And then same thing you just did over there. Easy breath in. Okay. Same rules as before. Don't screw this up.
Again, I'll try not to.
We're going to go that way. Yep.
Already screwed it up. Got it. Alright. So I'll slouch back.
Yep, just a little bit. You got a little tension on there.
Yeah.
Yep. Let your chin relax.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. All right, and when you're breathing, I want you thinking you're trying to fill up this space on the back side and the same thing on the front side.
Okay.
So an easy breath in, feel some stuff expand, blow it out hard. Feel some stuff kind of soften and compress. Yep, so almost again, move this space back a little bit. So you're just going to like slouch back a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Awesome, that was it. Awesome, Maddie. Give me 2 more breaths like that. On the exhale, just squeeze that a little bit. You feel like a little tension out here at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Relax. Great job. That was awesome. All right. Let's try our toe touch again. Won't be in camera. That's okay. And just see what you think with that one. Yep. So feet together. Yep. Legs straight. Go down. Good.
That one was even easier.
Yep. Come on back up. Try your squat again. So feet shoulder width apart. Yep. Hands out in front. Go for it. Good. What do you think about that?
That was pretty much the same.
Same. That's
yeah.
right. Yeah. All right. But the toe touch was easier.
Yeah.
Why did it feel easier?
I don't know. I felt like I could just go
Like
down,
fold down almost?
Fold down, yeah.
Okay.
A little bit
I want you to
easier.
do this one more time. Yeah. Do 4 breaths.
Okay.
Just like you did. Those are fantastic.
Okay.
And then we'll check your active straight leg raise and see if that changed too.
Got it.
All right. So why would all of a sudden potentially her toe touch feel easier after doing this one? Yep. Go for it. Yep. Yep.
Go for
Yep.
it?
Yep. Yep.
I was waiting for somebody to answer.
Oh.
I don't
Yeah. 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 So Maddie, just sit back again a little bit. There you go. That's it
Okay.
right there. You got it. Right. So like, I mean, if we're looking at some of the stuff up here, we can see again, like we were saying before, she's definitely got some compression on that left side. And again, with scoliosis, the spine's like rotating into these different spaces. So like she's getting jammed forward on one side pretty hard, and she's got like the other side pulled back, and then you get the same kind of rotation probably down below too. All right, so like a big thing is if we can get her to feel more space up here, it's going to allow her to flex much easier rather than get jammed into one position, and then she can't rotate back and forth. All right, you good?
Yeah.
All right, let's try your extra straight leg raise. No pad, sorry, you got to lie on the hard floor. Yeah. So feet together, toes curled back, legs stay straight, go for it. Good. Good. Maddie, what do you think?
I felt like the left leg, like, didn't, just because what you guys were saying,
Yeah, yeah.
it didn't, like, curve in
Yeah.
as much.
Yeah.
I thought it went, like, about the same height, but the right leg went a little
All
higher.
right. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I think that went like much smoother. Definitely a difference in how high they went. And I didn't get to see it, but like, you're noticing it now too. It's not necessarily coming across the body as hard. So right off the bat, the 2 things that we know that'll help her maintain probably some better positioning is like we got to open up that upper back, and we have to potentially get this to chill out a little bit too. So based on that, which would we do? Front squat or back squat? Front squat it is. All right. So let's go over to the platform. Maddie, when's the last time you front squatted?
Last week.
Woo! What weight were you using?
The bar.
So 200 pounds. Got it. All right. Come over here. Let's just see if this is a good height for you.
You want this off?
No, it's good where it is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So go ahead. Show us 5 reps of front squat. Yeah. Good. Rack it. Nice. You grab the heel wedge. Thank you. All right, so Maddie, when you front squat, what do you feel the most?
Probably, I feel it.
Quads quite a bit? Yeah. How hard did that feel? Cool. Put the wedge. All right, so you're going to, same thing, unrack the bar, and then try squatting the wedge and see what you think with that. Good, go one more. Good, rack it, awesome. How'd you feel using the wedge?
Felt like it was a little harder to go up. It was fine going down, but
Yeah,
a little bit
harder going up.
Yeah.
So why would that be the case when we give somebody the wedge?
We can't find the force of the heel.
So, well, partly did she go like she stayed more vertical and go a little bit lower? Yeah. So she's finding some different range of motion, but also, right, we've shifted her back, and if she's someone that likes to live in a little bit more of a middle propulsive position, whereas a wide ISA, she should be more IR biased. We kind of take that away from her a little bit. So then she can't maybe push as hard up through the ground as she would like. Right? Did you care if we put a little load on the bar? All right. So 1 to 10. 10 being like, oh my God, hardest thing I've ever done. 1 being easiest. How hard was the bar?
Like a 3, I guess.
Here, Beth, put a 10 on there, please.
That's really good.
So here's the thing is, I don't need you to go super low.
Yeah.
I want you to go where you feel like, ooh, I can pop out of the hole pretty easy. Okay. All right, you just got to do 3.
Just 3?
Just 3.
All right.
1,000. Good. Rack it. Nice. So what did you notice with a little bit of weight?
About the same. I felt like I didn't go as low, so I kind of
Cool.
was a little bit easier to get up on.
So let's take this bad boy away. Rest a couple seconds. Why don't you guys come from the side so you can see a little bit better side profile? Because again, if we're looking at what we're trying to potentially create more space for her to train longer and do stuff, we know we're getting a pretty compressive force in this mid upper back. All right, so excuse me. When you look at her squatting, are we getting some of the shapes that we want to see? Go for it. Just 3. That's it. Good. So, Matt, you like the feet flat on the ground more?
Yeah.
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 All right. What do you guys notice? So, yeah, let me jump in. I don't think I get down as low as she can. Actually, I know I can't. Okay. So what was the difference in this space in mine compared to hers? Do you see anything?
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, right. So there's, again, with the anterior load, what we should be able to see is hopefully that back will be able to expand a little bit more because we got something that can counterbalance us, right? So, like, if you think of that compared to like a back squat, oh man, right, where I'm jamming everything forward to begin with, that looks very different than that front squat, correct? So, and what we want to be able to get out of that exercise is something that's going to give us a different representation. Otherwise, it's just like, all right, I just gave her a weight that's now pulling her forward too because she's pushing a little harder into front as well. What was the most you ever front squatted?
Probably 145.
Cool. Come on over here. So what might we use as another squat variation? Dylan just firing off on all cylinders today. It's almost like you work here or something. Yeah, this is the one I was telling you. Yeah. All right, so Maddie, come on over here. You're going to put the bar in like the crux of the elbow. You're going to get kind of like whatever width stance you want. And then you're just going to basically do the same thing. Okay? Remember the rules. Don't screw this up.
Don't screw it up.
That's right. Good. What do you guys think?
I feel like if you turn to the side, I feel like from here down,
Yeah.
she finds movement, but she's still not finding like space.
Kerr, I was thinking the same thing. Man, I feel any different?
A little bit.
Like,
I don't know what way it felt different though.
which one do you like better? Why?
I don't know. I felt it more in my back, I guess, here. Like I was, I guess, going forward a little bit. I was like fighting myself to try and not stay back.
On that one.
On this one.
Oh, okay. So you felt more pressure, more sensation up here doing this one.
Yeah.
Is that what we want? Yeah. Tough shit. This is what you're getting.
This is what I get.
How hard was this one?
Not very hard.
All right, Hercules. All right. So you gave yourself the exact cue I would say, right?
Yeah.
I want you almost like you're trying. Remember how you were kind of sitting backwards a little bit on the breathing part, where you're just kind of doing this a little bit? That's what I want you to do. I want you just to kind of stay back on it. Go slow. Feel your whole foot pushing down into the floor. Okay. Don't let it pull you into your toes.
All right.
Okay?
Yep.
So I want you to think about breathing in on the way down. Exhale as you go up. Do 2 more. Good. So let's check to see if it did what we want. Man, try your feet together, legs stay straight, go down, touch your toes. What do you think? Good. Show us a squat. So feet show width apart, hands out in front. I didn't. But hang on though. She's almost feeling like she's falling backwards, right? What might that be an indication of? Well, yeah, she moved backwards, right? So she's kind of like, oh, I'm actually feeling what it's like to sit back a little bit, all right? If that wasn't giving us the result we want, what might be another squat positions that we can do that would shift her backwards? Think like super low level, maybe breathing drill. Sink squat might be a good one. Even like a deep squat breathing in TRX might be another one. But I like the idea of the sink squat first. Let's go with that one. Come on over here. All right, so Maddie, we're going to get our feet kind of close to the column.
Okay.
We're going to go here. You're going to kind of sit back. So you see how my chest moves back, but my hips don't go back?
Yep.
And I'm just going to sink a little bit into the squat position and just hold it there. So I'd get your feet closer to the column. There you go, right? You're just almost going to like hang back first. Yeah, so it looks like you're trying to spread your shoulder blades apart a little bit. Yeah, and then let your knees bend a little bit and kind of going straight down. So knees can come forward a hair. There you go, right there. Yep. All right, and what I want you to think about is, again, you're trying to let this space right here move backwards. So give me a nice, easy breath in. Blow it all out. Yep. Keep feeling your heels. I'm going to give you one more little cue. Push your knees forward to there you go. Good. One more breath there, and then you can relax for a second. Awesome. Good. What do you feel with that one?
It's right quads.
Right in the old quads.
Yeah,
All right.
a little tough.
Do you feel any stretching back here?
A little bit, not really though.
Okay. Show us the toe touch real quick, and then we're gonna play some real performance stuff. Yeah.
That was about the same as the one.
Before? Okay. Cool. But you felt some quads doing some work, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So would you ever like tell them to like drop their head into it to find 2 feet? Like, so I feel like she finds that space when she does here, but when she squats, she's up and like she's like compressing.
Try it. So same thing.
That.
Let your head go down. So let your gaze go down. Let your chin tuck.
Oh, you're good.
You like those quads, do you, Maddie? All right.
Alright.
Depends. Sometimes you can drive cervical. Yeah. So then, just kind of let your chin drop down. Let your eyes go down a little bit. Did that change anything that you wanted?
Can you drop your head more?
No, I would say a little bit, right? Yeah. So, man, I'm going to give you like 2 things to think about. Okay. I want you to, without moving your feet, you're going to slide the right knee forward a little bit and pull the left hip back a little bit. Yep. And you should just feel a little bit more weight in your left foot. Yep. All right? So now give me 2 good breaths before your legs fail. Good. Come on up. That one feeling different?
No, it's about the same.
You didn't feel your left leg working a little harder at all?
Yeah. Yes, working a little bit harder.
A little bit harder. All right. Show me a toe touch one more time. Same?
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Yeah.
I don't know how I seriously have never been able to touch my toes.
I told you, what we do here is very miracles and magic, okay? All right. So we're going to put you through like a little bit of a circuit, okay? So what exercises might we pick right off the bat based on what we've seen so far? We're going to pick some type of squat variation. We're going to pick some type of upper body rowing or pressing. Pressing, all right? And then if we were to pick a trunk exercise, what might we go with? This one's a little bit tougher. Like an all fours, a bear hold?
Like like this, when she's pushing up.
You might be able to, right? I would probably go with a side plank. Yeah, especially on the left side, right? Maybe with a right arm reach. Okay? So, which squat variation do you like the most? You can make it easy on yourself. You could do like the sink squat and like have no weight. You can do the front squat. You can do the Zercher squat. I was even thinking my other thought was maybe a heel elevated plate reach, right? Or the other thing I was thinking, like a deep squat breathing position might give her a chance to kind of sit back even further into that position. But we kind of saw with the sink squat, which is a good idea. So which one do you want to do?
Doesn't matter.
It's your choice.
I'll do the front.
All right. Okay.
The only one I know.
The only one, yeah. All right, and then for a pressing exercise, what might we pick? And I'll give you one thing to think about. We want to push her back on this left side.
I would say when you lean back here,
Yeah, so we might...
weight in her left foot, and pushing with the right.
So what do you think? You said it's coming.
Yeah, say what? Yeah.
Oh, that's heavy.
Yeah.
Right, so like Denise's point, left leg back here, pressing down, might all of a sudden give her the opportunity to expand back up. Huh?
Says that's your new go-to.
Yeah. Well, so the other thing too we could do, this was somebody else, we could put a front foot elevated and reach and press with the right, because I'm basically, as soon as I get this foot up higher, it's going to start the delay, early propulsive foot on this left side, and I'm going to push and reach, which is going to shift me over to my left foot a little bit, and I should be able to kind of recapture maybe some early stuff on the left. Let's go with the press down for now, all right, and then we'll go left side lying plank. All right, so come on over here. So, Maddie, I don't care how many reps you do. I want you to reach like a level of like 5 or 6 for fatigue. Okay? So what we're really talking about is like the point where you start to feel some muscles getting a little tired. And then you're like, oh, done.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm not used to that.
Done. Check.
Like gradually set, retread, go. Full circle.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Other thing to consider, for a wide ISA, would she be better at hinging or squatting? Hinging, right? So maybe we might even pick a different exercise for her instead of the squat to begin with. Good, so come on over here, Maddie. We're gonna go left foot back,
Okay.
all right? Left hand's punching, you're gonna reach down.
Okay.
All right, you're going to shift your weight into this left foot a little bit. And then you're just basically doing like a bench press down, okay? I want you thinking, man, I want to let my upper back round as best I can. Yep. Yep, so reach them both down. Now you're going to bend both knees a little bit. Yep. Now if I'm going to push you over to that left foot, feel most of your weight over there. Yep. Good, and now do your pushes. All right, so you're going to let this space here almost like round up to the ceiling as best you can. You're almost like pushing it up to the ceiling. Do you get what I mean by that?
Not really.
So come on up for a second. Yeah, so like what Beth just did. Right? Yeah, you're almost like I'm almost like trying to touch my upper back to the ceiling as I start to kind of do that stuff. Yeah, you get it. Yep. Now bend your knees a little bit and shift your weight into that left foot. That's it. Go for it. All right, so you're feeling like left heel, left foot getting some weight. Yep, you can even bring your torso up a little higher. You don't have to like lean too far forward. Yeah, all right, but remember, you don't want to you want to keep rounding this up to the ceiling. There you go, yeah. Yep. I know. You'd think if I had good cues, it would happen immediately. Go like 2 more, Maddie, and then I'm going to have you come over here. All right, and then we're going to go with knees are bent, form here. You're going to reach this arm out long and then go up. So knees stay on the ground, and you're just, again, pushing your ribs back behind you. You're always thinking, I got to push this space behind me as hard as possible. Yep. So keep your knees on the ground. You're just going to lift your hips up. Yeah, so reach that arm long. I'm going to give you a little help. You ready? You're going to bring this up here, and now push this space and this space back behind you. Yep. Good. Do you feel these abs doing some stuff? I'm going to give you a little more help. Keep coming up. Yep, keep reaching long with the right. You got it. Breathe. 10, 9, 8. You can even push hard through this hand here. Yep. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Awesome. What'd you notice with that one?
Oh, my hips were trying to like sink low.
Yeah.
Kind of into the ground more, I guess.
So you're thinking the whole time, hips got to get up,
Yeah.
reaching long, and I want to like almost do that.
Okay.
All right, let's go back to our front squat.
All right.
How many reps did you get last time? Do you remember?
6.
6. Perfect. Nice, man. Good. So on this one, all right, I don't need you like straight down here.
Okay.
I want you to think about, you're just going to kind of roll down,
Okay.
right? And then you're just going to kind of bend the knees a little bit, and then go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to make you work a little bit. Yeah, so bend the knees a little bit now. There you go. Yeah, good. There you go. Now punch that, hold that there for a second. Punch it down hard, yeah. Right, you're going to push this up to the ceiling. Yep, and now I want you to shift your weight over to that. That's it, you got it there? Yep. Now just bend the elbow, yep, and push it back down. You got it. Good, Megan, do 3 more. Right to there. Punch it right back down. Right, you don't even have to go up that high with it. Right to there. Yep, push it. Last one. Awesome. Good. Side bridge. All right, so I made this one a little heavier too. Good luck. Yeah, yep. Yep. So keep driving this up, 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 up. Keep lifting this up, 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 up. Keep reaching long, 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 long. You got it right there. You're holding it. Breathe. All right. I want you to keep driving this hip up as high as you can. Yeah. And then you're going to bring these ribs back towards me. You're almost going to kind of push this space back to behind you by almost reaching out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. How'd it feel? Good. All right. Come on up. Actually, stay down there. Let's check your extra straight leg raise and see what you got. All right, so feet together, legs stay straight. Good. Good. How'd they feel?
Good. A little harder to do this time, but I don't know.
Let's just check something real quick. That's not too bad. That's still where she was. Yeah, I know, it's surprising for most people. And actually, real quick, let me see this one more time. Ready? No, you're good. Probably right about there still, right? We started to see that hip change. Good. Come on up. Check your toe touch. And then we should be good. Nice. Yeah. You did awesome. All right. So she was able to hold on to all the stuff she acquired. All right. Which one did you feel like the most challenging?
I felt like this one, laying on the ground, was the most challenging.
Because why?
Because to like move my hip back that way
Yeah.
is a little more tough for me than all the other ones.
So what we're trying to do, right, is by putting her left arm on the ground and reaching the right arm long out in front, we're trying to slow down this left side, right? So she's got contact with this whole left side, which is going to give her the internal rotation on that side, which should help her bring this back, right? And then the right arm reaching out in front, it's going to turn her back to the left. But we've got that scoliosis piece, which kind of makes it really hard to do to get it to turn back to the left. So I wouldn't say it was the kind of right idea, but probably a little too hard. Did you feel like these abs doing anything?
Yeah.
Like a lot or a little?
Like a little bit.
Right? And that's where it's like, man, if we put her in the right position, these things should have been like lit up. Did you feel me keep trying to lift your hips up and like roll you forward? Yeah. So like, I was like, get over there. She's just like, whatever, Tommy. Like just held her spot. So we might pick a different option for that, right? That might be something that would be a little bit more low level in terms of maybe like a sideline axial rolling position to get her to start to feel that and everything turning to that side. I don't know if you guys notice, but in Maddie's like seam on her shorts, for the most part, it's always turning to her right side. Right? So when she was doing her sink squat, it was over here. And that's where I was like, oh, what if we just bring her back to the left? But she has a really hard time finding it. We may not get it because of, like, she's right, she's got a scoliosis that might not really change that much, or it might be really slow in changing. So we can't maybe expect it to happen like we change some of the things here. So we have to keep kind of like investigating what might be the first strategy we use to put her in a position where she can feel those muscles working the way we want, and then recheck some of the stuff and see if we recapture some of those motions. Right? Yeah. You did awesome. Thank you. Any other questions or thoughts? Okay.
I feel that the one you did was where she found the most space.
You saw it kind of.
Yeah.
The hard thing was,
Too hard then?
was if you look at her shoulder blade, it didn't like move where we wanted it to show. So like, you see the difference in, like you see how you can barely see almost that.
Yeah.
Whereas hers was, I don't know if I can do it. You could see it kind of still sticking out a little bit. So what you're looking for is in some cases you might get what you think is right, but it's through like an orientation, right? So she can make it look like her squat is an orientation, right? You shouldn't be able to squat that deep with her amount of hip flexion and how flat her spine is, right? That's like we know something else is moving besides her hips and her stuff like that, all right? So she can make it, she's like one of those people that you'd be like, man, that's a really good squat. And then later she might be like, I feel like this is really fatigued or tired, right? Or up here is like really fatigued or tired. And that's an indication of like, oh, it was because we were pushing everything really far forward, and because it dumped forward, we gained a little bit of movement in the hip, but now it's like, remember when she kind of like almost went backwards? Would you say you feel your heels a lot?
Yeah. I would say probably. I don't know.
So when you do your squats, do you feel like your heels are glued to the floor?
I guess maybe that's not what I'm focusing on. I don't know.
You know what? Let's do a quick experiment, and then I can let you get. Come here. Let's do a back squat. Crap.
No, I was always the best at it.
And let's see it. All right, and I want you just to kind of tell me like where you feel most of the pressure in your foot when you go down. I may be wrong, right? But my first guess would be it's gonna.
Not when you try with it.
Yeah, I know, and that's okay. Yep. Do one more. Do one more for me. One more. I know. Good.
No, it's definitely up like in the middle or in like the top.
Well, they said that she ran on the inside of her feet.
Yep. Did anybody else notice what happened at her back?
I was busy looking at it.
Well, one more, Maddie. One more. Maddie's like repetition. Yep. You guys see it? Yeah, right? All of a sudden, her whole hinge is right about here, right? So we just get a big into that position. So then that's a spinal, like that's her IR substitution is right there at the spine, right? Which is interesting, right? So based on where we see the least amount of movement, it's kind of like where we'd almost expect her to have some discomfort, but it's actually probably going right down the chain a little bit into this space here where she still has some movement that she can compensate for, right? Because remember when we looked on the floor and we can slide her hand underneath her low back, but then we bring her knee up to her chest, like Beth was like, oh, it goes all the way up. But we saw this all of a sudden start to move. So when she's probably going through ranges that she doesn't have access to, she's going to get it through here, and then it's probably going to get tired at some point, and then she's like, I just get this like dull ache. It's like kind of crappy throughout the day. Make sense? Yeah. That would be my guess. So if we can get her to kind of sense a little bit more heel, move some things back, especially like Erica's suggestion was with that upper back breathing, we might start to loosen up some of this other stuff. We saw all of a sudden toe touch and that active straight leg start to get better. She's recapturing some hip mobility or some actual sequencing through the whole lower half, and then all of a sudden we might be able to kind of keep her. She might go a couple days like, yeah, I haven't actually noticed my low back that much or tensing up too much. That was your question? Or is that was a question for on the thing? Gina, what were you going to ask?
Oh, I was going to say, if you were making a program, would you do something like do a front squat and then do like the trap bar to try to work on the hamstrings? And
So you got to be what would you be careful with a hinge?
you were saying if she's wide, she'd be better at hinging.
She would be better at hinging, but is she already pushed forward?
Yeah.
So do you want to test something for us?
Can you reverse the wedge? Would that help?
So she's gonna. So here's the thing: yeah, right. She actually, based on her ISA angle, she actually wants to. We want to push her back a little bit with a toe lift, potentially find a little bit more of like a mid propulsive foot. Have you ever trap bar deadlift before? Show us. It's 65 pounds. You're gonna be like, woohoo! Yeah. Yep. So there's like 3 of them. Good. Maddie, which one feels better? Squatting or deadlifting?
Probably deadlifting.
Yeah. Did you guys see her hinge as much in her spine? I thought it looked actually a little bit better.
So, wait, was I wrong?
No, that's it.
The program you would
So here's the thing: is like she's more biased to this. The hard thing is when I deadlift, right? I'm typically getting more compression on the posterior aspect of stuff to begin with. It's harder to sit, like it's very hard to then shift people backwards sometimes with like a deadlift, right? Where there's a squat, it's a little bit more ER bias, and I can use a heel wedge and I can use all these other things to kind of get them into that position. But that actually looked pretty good. So that I'm actually in agreement. After we test it out, I might say like, oh yeah, screw the squat. We might just do like a plate reaching squat and not load it to hold on to some of those things. But our loading might come from our deadlifting. Would we bench press her? Yeah, probably wouldn't be the first thing we would go to, right? Because we got the bench pushing up against her, and then she's got both hands locked in place, and she's coming down where we already know she's kind of turning to the right and like delaying on that side. It's probably going to look. Did you used to bench press in college?
Yeah, I never benched a lot, so that might be
So we might use more of like a alternating dumbbell, something, maybe just a one arm pressing for the time being. Anything that we can close off this front pec, right? That's going to get her to tighten up on this spot so that she can push air backwards is going to get her to turn back to the left. All right, so that would be like our first thing is like, man, let's keep putting her in positions that she can turn back to the left on and maintain some of her other positions as we do that stuff. Cool? Awesome.